Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations.
Hi.
Now, if there's two things you know about Pete and I, it's one, we love Star Wars, and two, we love FFG.
Yeah.
So, of course, what else are we going to review? Star Wars Rebellion.
The game's contents.
Right, well, the first thing we're going to discuss is the contents of the game. This is a big, heavy box with quite a big price tag to match. But wow, when you open the box up, you get tons and tons of stuff. We put some of it out here. You get this huge 2-part board. You get a lot of real-time action Death Star there, because I didn't put the stand on it. You get tons of little miniatures, and you get Death Stars, you get TIE Fighters, you get Stormtroopers, you get some Rebel stuff as well. You get AT-ATs, you get Star Destroyers, all sorts of stuff. Really, really good. X-Wings, you know, these thingies, that thingy.
They did a great job. You get all these standard...
Yeah, heroes are represented by these little cards on stands, you know, it's the old FFG plastic stands.
This game really works though. Because it's not all about the miniatures by a long shot, but so the miniature quality, the X-Wings, they look quite good. They're very similar to the Armada.
The Armada little ones, yeah. I thought they were the same molds, but they're not quite. They're slightly bigger.
Yes, the Corvettes and everything looks quite good. It's a shame that every pose is the exact same.
Well, they're just plain pieces, though, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
The plain pieces, they're awesome. There's a Death Star under construction. There's a complete Death Star. You know. Yeah. It oozes Star Wars.
It's got a lovely presentation to it. You give it that, and like this is all the miniatures in here.
Yeah.
It's just
that's the full bag.
You get so much to play with. There's so many characters as well. Like there's just tons and tons of characters.
Yeah, everybody you've never heard of in Star Wars is represented.
Brilliantly presented. You get a lot of stuff.
You get the standard FFG to how to learn to play.
Yeah.
And the detailed rules reference, which is go and have your rules argument. You get tons of cards.
Lots of cards and nice
FFG,
heavy duty dice.
Yeah, specific, unique dice.
I like how the artwork in this game as well. Very nice. It's got like the same artwork that they have in Imperial Assault.
Yeah, Imperial Assault, and there's some X-Wing pictures have made their way onto here as well. So
if you know what it looks like, if you know what that looks like, you know it's nice.
Yeah.
But even the artwork of like the cities and things, really well presented. There was no exceptions here. It had to look top notch, and it really does. Anyway, do you want to go up? Let's talk about the rules.
The game rules.
The rules, now we've only played this once, haven't we? We were stumbling our way through, and it was about 6 weeks ago, so I've forgotten the rules pretty much completely, but the general thing is there's two players. One's the bad guys, the rebels, and the other is the good guys, the glorious empire. The rebels are hiding out somewhere. It's a secret where they are.
Yeah.
All locations, these planets have a card, and at some point early in the game you take a random card and you tuck it under the edge of the board over here. And
it's not random. The rebel player gets to choose where they're going to...
Oh, you choose it,
They choose where they're going to put their hidden base.
So it's find the base.
The Imperial player is playing Cluedo, while the rebel player is playing let's make Cluedo really difficult for him.
Yeah, let's make it difficult, and also let's convert systems to the rebel cause, and if you can convert enough rebel systems to the cause, then you progress this. Mm-hmm. And there's some sort of time-based thing going on there.
So this is what happens. So every time that this time progresses, everyone gets a character, and every time it goes this way, well, the rebels are doing well. So basically, and when it meets, the rebels have won the game.
Yeah.
The Imperials win when they capture the rebel base.
That's it.
Combat in this game, quite simple. Quite simple, but quite effective. You blows up anything, a hit.
Yeah. So there's two modes to the combat. You've got ground troops, which are like your AT-ATs, your stormtroopers, your other guys, and all that, and then you've got your air combat as well. Excuse me, my voice is going because it's a size cat. And you get a number of red and black dice.
Depending on the type of attacks you've used.
Yeah. So we've got an airspeed. Wow, that's good. The snow speed has got quite a lot of dice. I've just noticed, but
yeah.
That's his life, isn't it? Yeah.
Mhm. So you have one red and one black dice.
That's it. One red, one black. Similar sort of FFG combat. You roll dice off, compare results.
So then what will happen is the snowspeeder has got 2 red life. the 2 red life means that you need to get 2 red hits.
That's it. Yeah.
So the 2 red hits would blow up that 1 red. So the troopers on the other hand, they're black. They're completely immune to that result.
Yeah.
So it's got quite an easy kind of attack mode, but it works because the game needs to flow, because it's not really about the combat. It's more about, this game is solidly about what you're going to do, where you're going to place someone, and what system you need to take over and what's important to you. The Imperials at every opportunity are trying to stop that, trying to put people in jail and trying to ruin your
capture
plans.
the good guys. And to move troops, you basically, if I remember rightly, you get a hero placement phase, don't you?
Yeah.
And you can put a guy there and you can draw troops to him.
That's right. And then there's different things as well, like these cards.
There's transport mechanic, isn't there, for transporting ground troops through the space.
The 2 factions have their own cards that will do unique things. So they've basically got a set of playing cards, secret cards, much like every FFG game does ever. When they've got, like, I've got a secret hand that I can use. We've only played this once, and we found it really, really balanced. And honestly, I can't wait to play it again. We're going to switch sides next time and see what happens. It was even a close game we played. I ended up winning, I feel like, because you didn't go to the right place.
Yeah, well, if I remember rightly,
I was in Geonosis.
Geonosis, and there was a point where there's a decision he could have been out here, he could have been out here, but I didn't have the resources to go both ways, as I thought. So I went that way, and then realised he wasn't there, but by that time it was too late to get that way. So you picked me there, but it was a really good game.
It's a smart game. We'll need to get more of it.
And it's almost 2 games in one, because when we switch sides, completely different objective on the other side of the table.
Certainly.
So keeps it interesting. It's a long game to play, isn't it?
Definitely. This is not a short game.
But it's not epically bad. I mean, we played it in about 5 hours, and we were in noob mode, so it was like very slow.
This game isn't for new players, I don't think either. New meaning casual players. I think casual players would get a bit intimidated with the amount of instructions, and then you do this and you can do this.
Yeah.
So I think a casual player
be bewildering, I think, to somebody who's only into the likes of
Carcassonne,
Warhammer Quest or whatever,
So I think that there's because of the structure of the game, there's a lot of phases, and now you need to do this, and who's going to do this. There's quite a lot of I find it quite an intimidating game too, because there's a certain amount of it's your turn, you must act, and if you're really indecisive, that can actually make the game worse.
Yeah.
So it's.
Well, you can go that for any game, but there's quite a bit to think about.
It's a thinking game.
Well, it didn't drag at any point. We were fully engaged all the way through it, and it was just dead exciting. To try and find out what the hell's going on, and he's trying to do his thing, and it was really good.
Let's talk about the future of the game.
The game's future.
I think this game has got a really good future, and what we were discussing earlier, we don't want it to be a bigger game. I don't think it needs bigger. I think what it could do with is smaller expansions on it. You could have newer unit types. This your player card could be a bit bigger.
Your suite of things you can build.
Let's put the A-wings in there. Let's put whatever, snow troopers, elite troopers.
You could do.
So they could have these slight differences, these extra things. You could have more characters. Definitely have more cards, because as far as I remember, we kind of ran out of them. So it just sort of seems like the game as a whole is set in stone. It just could. Well, it doesn't even need it. It doesn't need to be bigger.
It doesn't need much, to be honest. I don't think. I think it's quite brilliant as it is.
It is.
I mean, it's always nice to see more of something that's brilliant, but I'll get the feeling it's intended not to be expanded. It's just there's a box with an awesome game in it.
True.
Get on with it. There you go.
How many times do you think you could play this before you felt like you don't want to play it anymore?
I'd probably say about 7 or 8.
7 or 8 times.
Yeah. Possibly more if you keep switching sides,
Yeah, okay.
And then if you switch, if I take it to Stockport and play with somebody else, it's a whole new experience then, because they'll approach it in a different way,
I'm not.
I think it's got a couple of years in it. If you were playing it on.
I'm not sure.
You don't think so?
I think.
It's because it's very strategic.
I think if I played this 3 or 4 times, I might have my fix, and that's it.
Yeah.
But that might be me. It is very strategic, but there's a lot of guesswork, and I do feel like it's advanced Cluedo to a large degree.
Yeah.
Well, from the
We're still
Imperial.
on Master Cluedo, so it'll keep me going.
Fair enough. But that's not to say I don't like it. I certainly like it. Obviously, we're reviewing it, and you know, it's FFG and it's Star Wars, so
Yeah.
it's got all the elements that I love. If this wasn't Star Wars, would it have done the same thing for you?
I think so, yeah. I just wouldn't have tried it, to be honest. I wouldn't have probably been drawn to it, you know. It's covered in the Star Wars candy, so I was drawn to it, and inside it is a really good sort of strategic cat and mouse game.
Sure
That's
is,
what it feels
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I mean, what it is, if you're insane, and I'm sure somebody's already done this, but you could use this as a campaign system for Armada, X-Wing and Imperial Assault.
Oh God.
But you'd have to be completely balmy to try it. But I bet somebody's done it, and if you have tried it, get in touch with me because I want to know about it.
Oh please, yeah. Please
Join
tell
it.
us. Yeah.
So basically, you could like every air engagement, you know, those two bump into each other. You've got a game of Armada. These bump into the TIE fighters. You've got an X-wing skirmish. Some sort of ground combat going on. You've got a game of Imperial Assault.
Oh.
You go away and play that game. You come back and you know, right, you won that battle. I won this battle. You know, completely. We know a couple of guys who would try it, don't we?
Yeah, certainly.
We do, yeah. And this would be the ultimate sort of Mighty Empire style campaign map for the whole FFG Star Wars universe. And it will be a magnificent achievement, but it's beyond our time and money to do it. So.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's another little sort of use of this game, I think, which will be awesome. But as a game on its own, I think it's really, really good. I think you get your money's worth out of it. You play it quite a few times.
I will certainly agree with you there. Because of the length of the game, the intensity of the game, I actually think it really hits a good spot for a lot of people. If you're looking for a game where you feel like you have to have your wits about you playing it, you know, it's a really good Sunday afternoon game.
Yeah.
You know, this is a bit of a keeper for that, I guess.
All round good. The only downside, the return of the X-Wing pegs. The Death Stars are mounted on X-Wing miniatures game pegs, which are a nightmare and always fall to pieces as soon as I look at them. So,
Well, if you can live with that.
disappointed with that. I might just use blue tack, put them on the bases that way.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Cheerio.
Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations.
Hello.
If there's one thing you must know by now, it's myself and Steve. Steve? Fucking hell. I was just like...
Steve from Minecraft.
Then I was even thinking, who the hell is Steve? I don't know any Steves.